right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
New year, same cash bail laws in Illinois. Tonight, new reaction to a state Supreme Court's last-minute ruling on the controversial SAFETY Act.
Mild and murky. It's warm by January standards, and that can't last. The Weather First team is tracking the showers and storms that make Monday evening a weather alert day.
First tonight, a New Year's Eve celebration turns deadly. The fight inside a Metro East pub ending in gunfire and 2 men dead. Good evening, I'm Mark Maxwell filling in for Mike and Ann. Police are investigating a deadly shooting tonight outside a bar in downtown Collinsville. It happened just after midnight in the back parking lot of Sloan's Pub House on West Main Street. 5 on Your Side's Elise Schoenig is there with the latest.
I'm here outside Sloan's Pub House where police say a fight broke out last night. They say it started inside and then escalated outside where 2 people were shot and killed. I did go inside, but no one wanted to talk about what had happened here less than 24 hours ago. But here's what we do know so far. According to investigators, a fight started inside the pub. It was between a group of men and one other man before that then spilled outside. They say the group of men had guns and found the man they were fighting inside his car. Witnesses say the group tried to break out the windows when the driver himself pulled out his gun. Police say that man shot and killed 20-year-old Ricardo Correa and 24-year-old Rodolfo Torres Granado. Police tell us they have 2 people who are in custody, but no charges have been made so far. Reporting in Collinsville, Elise Schoenig, 5 on Your Side.
Investigators are asking more witnesses to come forward. If you have any information on what happened, call Collinsville Police. We have that information with this story up on our website, ksdk.com. Tonight, St. Louis County Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Jennings. It happened just after 2 o'clock in the morning on Blewett Avenue. Police found a man shot to death at the scene there. If you know what happened, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. And violence visited the city of St. Louis this New Year's Eve. 4 adults and 1 child are recovering from gunshot wounds tonight after 5 separate shootings spanning a period of 8 hours overnight. The latest shooting just before 5 o'clock this morning. Experts say 9 in 10 gunshot victims survive, but struggle with lifelong scars. And those first moments after a shooting are often when the risk of retaliation reaches its peak. Serena Mohammed is with the St. Louis Mental Health Board.
It's also tragic when somebody is shot and they lose their ability to make a living, they can't sleep at night, it impacts their lives, their loved ones. So all of these things are serious and we need to pay attention to all of it.
Advocates fear emotional fatigue from commonplace shootings and homicides could callous the city's commitment to cure violence. You can learn more about a trauma recovery clinic and how to get help on our website, ksdk.com. It's a mild and gloomy night in St. Louis. The new year got off to a rather good start with temperatures soaring into the 60s. There's some drizzle out now, but some developing storms are prompting a weather alert day for tomorrow. So let's get straight over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. Scott?
Well, you know, Mark, we are talking about the potential for some of those stronger thunderstorms, especially as we head into about this time tomorrow night. It'll be after dark when the chance of showers and thunderstorms ramps up. What we have right now, it's the low clouds, the fog, some of that mist that's around. In fact, if you're heading out for a late night drive down 55, Perryville down towards Cape Girardeau, looking at some dense fog. That is the scene right now down towards the Arnold area. The system that's going to impact us for tomorrow into tomorrow night, it's the one that's been really giving the West Coast problems in the last 24 to 36 hours. It's coming into the plains. We're still in the upper 40s to mid 50s right now with a front draped across the area. And it looks like as we head through the overnight hours, our temperatures just don't drop much. It will stay murky, but we are quite mild to begin January. There's some fog, there's some drizzle tonight into tomorrow morning. The rain, that's really not likely until tomorrow evening. And there is a severe weather threat, mainly to our south and southwest. We're going to talk more about the timing on that coming up in 12 minutes, Mark.
All right, Scott, thanks. New tonight, the new year has gotten off to a rough start for one family in Wildwood. They're without a home tonight. Just a few hours ago, their house on Arlington Terrace Drive caught fire. Firefighters believe it started in the back of the house, but they have not yet determined an exact cause. Everyone, including the family's pets, did get out safe. Tonight, St. Louis regional bomb and arson detectives are investigating a deadly fire at a North County apartment. The fire broke out around 6 o'clock last night at the Meadow Glen Apartments in Spanish Lake. Firefighters found a man dead in the back of the apartment unit. Investigators have not yet released a cause, but they are asking anyone with information to call St. Louis County Police. And tonight, St. Louis police are looking for the driver responsible for a deadly hit and run. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning at the intersection of Cabany and Kings Highway. One person died there. Another victim was rushed to the hospital. Right now, there is no word on their condition. Tonight, a controversial part of Illinois' Safety Act is on hold. Just hours before the state was set to abolish cash bail, the Illinois Supreme Court put that plan on pause pending a statewide ruling. Our Laura Barczewski joins us now. And Laura, this means people arrested in Illinois tonight could still go to jail before their trial unless they have that money to get out.
That's right, Mark. This comes just days after a judge in Kankakee County ruled parts of the act unconstitutional. If this law goes into effect, it not only affects Illinois residents, but anyone else who enters the state. So it's important to know what's going on with it right now. In Missouri, whenever someone is charged with a crime, the judge can set a cash bond to let them out of jail with a promise to appear in court. They can provide 10% or use a bail bondsman. Bail bondswoman Alina Malone says it's a lot different in Illinois.
In Illinois, they only have the option of posting the cash with the courts. There is no bail bondsmen in the state of Illinois. Illinois is a no bail bondsman state. So all bonds have to be posted directly through that court, depending on that county.
In Illinois, prosecutors, courts, and law enforcement collect those funds. The bond payments are supposed to be returned to the defendant after the trial.
But what actually happens is that there are a lot of fines and fees and things that get taken out of that bail while it's with the court. And as a result, a lot of people don't end up getting the majority of their bail money back at the end of their case.
The Pretrial Fairness Act is a section of the Safety Act that would get rid of cash bonds. Malone argues that cost can be a deterrent to committing more crimes.
A change definitely needs to take place, but eliminating cash bail, I don't think is what needs to take place. Maybe implementing some type of pretrial programs will be what's needing to take place. Putting stipulations on their bond, putting electronic home detention on their bond.
Sharon Mitchell Jr. with the Cook County Public Defender's Office says in their research, the cash bond system only hurts struggling families.
When you have very poor families bonding folks out, that has a significant impact on that family's safety.
A Kankakee judge found parts of the new law unconstitutional earlier this week.
Eliminating cash bail, in my opinion, definitely is unconstitutional.
Sarah Stout with Chicago Appleseed Center for Care of Courts says she believes it's a misunderstanding of the constitutional phrase.
The Constitution says all people should be bailable, and what bailable has always meant is releasable, meaning able to be released from custody. Money bail is just a specific kind of condition you can put on someone's release.
Legal experts tell me the Illinois Supreme Court ordered the emergency halt of the Safety Act because they believe trial procedures need to be consistent throughout the entire state, which would not have happened if it moved forward today. Mark.
All right, we'll be watching closely. Laura, thank you. Scary moments in Orlando. Watch what happens to people celebrating New Year's Eve at this Florida theme park. Cell phone video shows sparks flying from the Orlando Eye at Icon Park right after it lost power. Firefighters had to rescue 62 people from that large Ferris wheel. The cause is still under investigation.
So the only thing I know, there was some type of electrical failure, so I don't know if there was a power glitch or something, but I guess one of the citizens stated there was some sparks coming from one of the wires off of one of the pods, but when we got here, we didn't see anything like that.
There were no reports of any injuries in that case. This happened at the same Orlando theme park where a St. Louis teen died back in March. 14-year-old Tyree Sampson fell from the free fall ride. State investigators say his death was due to changes made to that ride to allow larger riders. That ride is set to be torn down. Tomorrow, a celebration of life will be held for a St. Louis football star and philanthropist. Demetrius Johnson died from a heart condition on Christmas Eve. The 61-year-old St. Louis native was a defensive back at the University of Missouri and later in the NFL. Johnson later founded the Demetrius Johnson Charitable Foundation to help the lives of underprivileged families. His celebration of life will take place tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Chaifetz Arena. The public is invited. A procession from the Demetrius Johnson Foundation in North City starts at 12:15.
He's responsible for some of the biggest sporting events in St. Louis.
I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for how much he loves the city of St. Louis and how much work he put into to put this city on the map.
The big shoes to fill he's leaving behind in the new year.
Clouds, some fog and drizzle now. Rumbles of thunder and downpours possible in 24 hours from now. The Weather First timeline on when and where you can expect the heaviest rain. You may not know his name, but you know his work. Frank Viverito has done more for sports in St. Louis than just about anybody. But as 2022 came to a close, so did his illustrious career. In tonight's Making a Difference report, Mike Bush shows us how he's leaving behind some pretty big shoes to fill.
So it looks like I need to sign this.
For Frank Viverito, leadership has always been about relationships.
And it'll go in the packet?
Yes.
Okay.
Frank Viverito has been a treasure to this city.
When I think of Frank, it's always in a great light. His smile is always, it always lights up a room.
Do we have a ticket sales update?
As president of the Sports Commission, it's been his job to attract, create, and manage sporting events.
So the responses are coming in.
Which was a whole new frontier in the St. Louis area when he was hired in 1995.
It was an interesting time. You know, it was the early years of the Sports Commission, and so we were really about raising money. So Frank, who had this wonderful personality, could talk to anybody, a great attention for detail, all of a sudden had to turn into a salesman. So Frank and I had some great days together as I taught him to be a salesman and he taught me to be a nicer person.
Bronze, silver, gold, zero.
During his tenure, St. Louis has hosted dozens of high-profile events, including the NCAA Men's and Women's Final Four.
And Connecticut takes advantage in the person of Renee Montgomery at the other end.
12 NCAA Wrestling Championships, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, the PGA Championship, and the U.S. Olympic Gymnastics Trials.
Being able to put a team together that can go in and make the pitches, and then we come out victorious, and that's because of Frank's leadership and the team.
He's not the front person on everything, but his personal stamp of goodwill and good actions is on so many things in this town. I mean, if we sat here and made a list of all of the things over these many years that he's brought to St. Louis and helped in this community, I think it would blow people away.
It was good. The travel was effective, and
perhaps his greatest legacy will be the Musial Awards.
It's the Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University.
It was his vision that turned a small annual dinner honoring sportsmanship into a nationally televised broadcast that creates ripples across the country. We're celebrating those who set an example of sportsmanship as it shines a light on the very best of humanity through athletics.
And they're going to change the world. So thank you all for being here tonight.
So in many ways, his legacy is going to be played out really for the rest of this century in the lives of 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 and 25-year-olds who are going to go on and do amazing things. And I can't think of a better legacy than that.
Probably so. If I can squeeze one more trip in.
But now, Frank Viverito has announced his retirement.
When I heard that he was going to retire, I guess I was really surprised because I don't know what he's going to do.
I don't know what he's going to do because I've never seen him swing a golf club.
Nope.
I've never seen him shoot a basketball. Maybe it's, what is it, paddle ball?
I don't even think he does that.
Maybe retirement isn't the end of the road, but a new beginning.
Frank is an amazing human being who's so committed to athletics, to sportsmanship, to youth sports, to the power of what athletics can do, not just for the participants, but in society.
I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for how much he loves the city of St. Louis and how much work he put into to put this city on the map.
Kick your shoes off, relax, enjoy the family. You know, it's easy said than done, you know, and I know he's not going to retire. He's going to still be a mentor, you know, helping out wherever he can.
In St. Louis, Mike Bush, 5 on your side.
Viverito will continue to be a consultant to the new Sports Commission President, Mark Schreiber. Tonight, some people got a great start to their New Year's resolutions at the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows in Belleville. Runners took part in the Way of Lights 5K run. People could also walk a 1.5-mile course through the holiday lights. That holiday display is now closed for the season. People took advantage of the warm weather at Forest Park on this New Year's Day. Walkers and runners hitting the trails while golfers hit the links. They say the weather was a big improvement over January 1st last year.
Last year it was cold and rainy. I think like on the second hole, the club slipped out of my hand. I jammed my finger.
This is a lot better than it was last year, so a lot of fun coming out. Really surprised that this was the weather today.
Normally it's snowing, raining, or ice outside, so this is amazing. God heard my heart today.
And that last woman was also celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday. All right, the warm start to 2023 will continue. Let's check in with Scott Connell, our Weather First meteorologist.
Yeah, you know, we're going to stay above average here for the next couple of days. We were in the mid-60s today. Around the metro area, looking out at Lambert, we had some sunshine this afternoon as the sun was setting. The high clouds were streaming in, and then just to our south, we had the deck of low clouds. They came rolling back in through the evening hours from the south and southeast, and that's now what's in place around St. Louis and what we will be dealing with as we head into tomorrow morning. Kind of murky out there. Still 55 degrees, though. We're not dropping off all that much. Visibilities are down in some of the outlying areas, too. 65 was our high, 43 was the low. This is the next weather system out to our west, impacting us as we head into tomorrow. This is the one that brought a lot of heavy rain, causing flooding, mudslides out in California, heavy snow in the mountains. Now that's spreading out in across the Rockies and heading towards the plains. If you're traveling tomorrow, especially going up into Nebraska, South Dakota, up into northern portions of Iowa, southern portions of Minnesota, a lot of people may be taking tomorrow off because many businesses, it's a holiday. And you're looking at ice storm warnings here, northern portions of Iowa, winter storm warnings just to the north and west of that. And then on the warm side of this system, it's the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms, more so down into central and southern Arkansas, but even to the west and southwest of St. Louis, we might see a stronger storm or two later tomorrow evening. So let's watch how this evolves tomorrow. Warm fronts lifting to the north. During the day, there's not a whole lot of rain. Yeah, it's still murky, but it's really during the evening when our bands of showers and thunderstorms try to make a run for St. Louis. Most of that does happen during the evening hours, and the greatest chance for the strong to severe weather is definitely off to the south and southeast of St. Louis. So here we are at lunchtime on your Monday. Temperatures will be in the lower 60s tomorrow afternoon, and if anything, they actually go up for a time during the evening hours as we get the more widespread showers and rumbles of thunder coming in. Not a widespread chance for severe weather, but maybe a stronger wind gust or two. Certainly some downpours. And the rainfall potential with this area south and east of St. Louis likely to see 1 inch to 2 inches of rain, while you go north and west of St. Louis, probably staying less than 1 inch. With the potential for that heavy rain arriving tomorrow evening, as well as a few potentially stronger storms with some gusty winds, we do have the weather alert day for Monday evening, mid-60s. Doesn't cool off much tomorrow night. Still warm on Tuesday. Through about lunchtime, then temperatures start dropping. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, feeling more like January. But even heading into next week, Mark, we don't see any bitterly cold air heading our way.
Yeah, still above freezing. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Scott. It's the first day of 2023, but tonight we verify why not everyone is celebrating New Year's Day today. Meet the first new St. Louis baby in this new year. Travion Holloman was born 20 minutes after midnight at Barnes Jewish Hospital. According to BJC, he's the first baby born in the St. Louis area in 2023. Congratulations to his parents, Desiree and Sean, on the birth of their third child. From the iconic ball drop in New York's Times Square to a giant peep in Pennsylvania and a giant red high heel shoe in the Florida Keys, people across the country rang in 2023 last night in style. But as our Verified team explains, not everyone around the world is saying Happy New Year tonight. Here's Brandon Lewis.
For some countries, January 1st is a massive party, but is that the case everywhere? Let's verify. Do all countries celebrate the new year on January 1st? Our sources are the U.S. State Department, the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, and the State Council of China. Since the 1500s, the Gregorian calendar has marked the new year on January 1st. That's the calendar much of the world began using by the 20th century, but some countries still use their own calendars. For example, in Nepal, they use a historical Hindu calendar and will celebrate the new year in mid-April. The same goes for Ethiopia, which has its own 13-month calendar. Some countries use their traditional calendar and the Gregorian calendar simultaneously, like Israel, which widely uses the Gregorian calendar, but January 1st isn't a holiday. Instead, New Year's is on Rosh Hashanah, which usually falls in September based on the Hebrew calendar. There are also cultural New Years, like in China, where January 1st is a public holiday, but the big celebration is on the Lunar New Year a few weeks later. So it's false that all countries celebrate the new year on January 1st. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like for us to verify? Send us an email to verify@kstk.com. New year, new salary. The thousands of people on both sides of the river starting off 2023 with a bit more breathing room in the budget. Millions of American workers got a raise today, and that's without asking their boss for one. Minimum wage increases going into effect in 23 states, including Missouri and Illinois. In Missouri, it jumped 85 cents up to $12 an hour. In Illinois, up $1 to $13. If your New Year's resolution is to make more money, you might buy a Mega Millions ticket. The jackpot for Tuesday night's drawing ballooned to $785 million. No one hit all 6 numbers Friday night. That makes the 4th largest prize in the game's history. Fancy dinners are out. More casual first dates are in. A new survey funded by dating platforms found most millennial and Gen Z singles are opting for less expensive, budget-friendly dates. The reason? You guessed it, inflation. That's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Now here's Corey Miller with Sports Plus.